Hello everyone, I'm Shubhodip Mitra from Department of Chemical Engineering, IIT Kanpur. I work with Professor Dr. Sri Shivakumar. I would like to start my talk with a question that we had in our mind when we started our work initially, and that is, can saliva predict onset of oral cancer? If you look at this 2016 data, this data was presented in Indian Parliament by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. We see that almost all states of India have a very serious condition as far as oral cancer incidence is concerned. States in northern India, states in southern India, even in northeast India, the oral cancer incidence rates are very high. So, where actually the problem is? So the problem actually is in the state of the art of the detection of oral cancer. That is where the bottleneck is. So what a doctor actually observes when a patient may be having some symptom, may not be having some symptom, when he goes to a doctor, what he observes is these kinds of signs. So maybe some kind of ulcers which are there, which are not healing over time, maybe some kind of red or white patches present, or maybe some kind of lumps which are there for a sufficiently long amount of time. So we thought that saliva is one such biofluid which is always in contact with the affected lesions in the oral cavity. So we thought that biomarkers which are present in saliva can be good candidates to show us that if at all there is a correlation between concentration of biomarkers and early onset of oral cancer. So for our work, we detected two biomarkers, namely EGFR and P53. So as a solution, we came up with a paper microfluidic based device. So our microfluidic channel was prepared with a simple wax printer. So the preparation technique was also very simple. We heat that on a hot plate at 120 degrees centigrade, and our channel was in a proper condition to work. So in the inlet part, we put a droplet of saliva. The droplet flows through the channel and comes to the reaction pad where there are three electrodes present. One is the working electrode on which the entire reaction is taking place. One is the counter electrode and other one is reference electrode. And all these three electrodes are connected to potentiostat, which will give us the impedance value after the reaction takes place. So if in the saliva droplet the particular antigen is present, then that particular antigen will come and bind with that antibody. So for EGFR, we'll have anti-EGFR present on the working electrode. For P53, we'll be having anti-P53 attached in the working electrode. And through the impedance spectroscopy, we will get whatever signal that will be given by the particular reaction. Now we come to the detection of EGFR and P53 part. So the figure A denotes a Nyquist plot for P53 detection, and we see that as we keep on increasing the concentration of the antigen, the P53 that is, higher and higher is the charge transfer resistance. So in this plot, the x-axis denotes the real part of the impedance, the y-axis denotes imaginary or complex part of the impedance, and the diameter of this semicircular plots denotes what's the RCT value or what's the charge transfer resistance value. Now, as we keep on increasing the antigen concentration, higher is the RCT or charge transfer resistance value, which happens because higher is the antigen concentration, higher will be the hindrance for the redox mediator to come to the electrode surface and undergo redox reaction. Similar trend we find in case of EGFR also. Here also higher is the antigen concentration, higher is the RCT or charge transfer resistance value. Now figure C and figure D denotes a calibration curve for P53 as well as EGFR. Here we have plotted the RCT or charge transfer resistance values that we have got from the earlier Nyquist plots and plotted them versus the concentration of P53 as well as concentration of EGFR. So in both those cases, we see that after some certain value of the P53 and EGFR concentration, the plots saturate. Obviously, because the active sites almost saturates, that is why the RCT value also saturates after a certain value of P53 and EGFR. Finally, we have collected patient saliva sample, people who are suffering from oral cancer, and tested those saliva samples with our chip that we have manufactured. So in the figure A, we see that how P53 in the saliva sample varies with male patients. So we see that the RCT value for a 54-year-old male patient is much higher in comparison to a 36-year-old male patient, and in comparison to a healthy male, in comparison to a healthy male, the RCT value of both those patients are quite high, which suggests that the concentration of P53 in saliva sample of those two patients are much higher in comparison to the healthy patient. Similar trend we see for female patients also. So we could collect two of the female patient saliva sample, and in both those cases we see that the concentration of P53 in their saliva is much higher in comparison to the healthy female volunteer. Now, finally, we have jotted down all the concentration values of the saliva samples that we have collected for EGFR as well as P53 of the patients. And we see that for both EGFR and P53, the concentration of those biomarkers in saliva are much, much higher in comparison to the healthy people around. So the concentration is even more than 1 nanogram per ml on almost all the cases, barring I think one or two patients. Almost in all cases, the concentration of EGFR and P53 is way higher in comparison to the healthy persons. Finally, we come to the conclusion. So, what are the key take-home messages? Number one, a paper-based chip with 3 electrodes was fabricated to detect biomarker concentration relevant for oral cancer. Number two, this work showed that there is a good correlation between high P53 and EGFR concentration in human saliva and a probability of having oral cancer. Number three, we systematically studied saliva sample with our chip and established that human saliva can be a very significant tool for screening oral cancer patients, especially in rural areas where facilities are scarce. So thank you all. And if there is any question, I'll be very happy to answer them.